The drought is over. It's been more than 3 weeks since we've seen a new connector get added to Power Automate. And this morning, I saw the 6 were added over the weekend, which is super exciting. So let's dive in and take a look at what each of these connectors does and how they were rated. Our first connector that's new to Power Automate is DeskDirector, which handles issue management and service tickets. Now, you could kick off a flow using any of these 3 triggers when a new chat is created, when a workflow is triggered, or even when a ticket is created or updated. Additionally, you could choose from any of these 16 actions in existing flows that are kicked off from other triggers. So it's pretty comprehensive. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. And what's really cool is the vendor documentation. DeskDirector did an excellent job on their documentation. You can see on the left here are specific details about Power Automator Flow, how to set it up, and then there are a couple use cases, which is awesome. Next is HR Cloud, which is the official 500th connector of Power Automate. Now this one is all about human resources. If you go to their homepage, you can see that there is a lot of comparisons as you go through here, that its marketing is telling you it's an alternative to Facebook Workplace. It's got similar features at allegedly half the cost, which is a compelling argument if that's something that you're looking for. So let's talk a little bit more about the connector itself and not so much about the software. Now, if we look at the connector, there's no triggers, which is a bummer, because I'd imagine if I were working in HR, I would probably want a solution that triggers off automation. This one doesn't, but it does have 8 actions for you. So you can take action on your data, but you can't kick off a flow. So this one's fine. We gave it 3 stars, but again, we were just hoping to see some triggers. Lang.ai is all about customer service and AI. Specifically, they focus on automatic tagging, which can help you prioritize and route. The connector lets you take actions on data, but you can't kick off a flow. If you take a look at their website, there's some interesting detail here. However, their website only shows integrations and platforms such as Zendesk and Salesforce. So we're hopeful that we'll see more information here about Power Automate soon. But as it is right now, this seems like a useful connector if you're already a customer. Not so useful if you're not. This next one, just like this stock image I have, I don't really know what's going on here. Microsoft 365 Apps Health was added as a new connector on Friday, July 16th. On Monday, July 19th, early this morning, it was updated. All actions were removed and it's marked with deprecated. So I mention this only because you will see this if you check out any connectors, either in Microsoft documentation or connector review, but don't get your hopes up because you can't use it. Now we move on to nps.today. This is the one I was most excited to see in the list of new connectors. I think they found a niche that hasn't been touched in Power Automate. This connector is all about Net Promoter Scores, which I know is a big deal to a lot of organizations, maybe yours. So with this flow, with this connector, you could kick off a flow anytime a new response is received or when a member is added to a campaign. There's also 2 triggers here where you can add an employee and you can also add a respondent and send a survey to that person. So this seems like a highly useful, well-built connector. The only reason it didn't get 5 stars, I'm hoping I can move it to 5 stars soon, is because there's no documentation and very poor information. As you can see, the site is under construction right now, but the navigation bar isn't working. So there's supposed to be information if you come to the footer here about support and integration, which is really what we want to see because that's where we find use case, documentation, all kinds of good stuff for you. But it's not here. It doesn't work. It just redirects to the home page. So 4 stars for now, hoping for 5 in the future. This is a really cool connector and I'm excited about the possibilities it brings. Finally, we have Waaila. This software looks really neat. It's all about automated data quality monitoring, which is great. And I feel like we need more players here. The software platform itself looks really interesting. I really liked what I saw on the homepage and I was getting excited about some potential use cases until I looked closely at the connector and noticed there's no triggers and there's only 3 actions. And the actions aren't that powerful. It's just getting data. So it's an access token, a list of depots, or test suite details. Now, in my mind, what I want to see is someone like this that allows me to say, hey, if my threshold gets a score of greater than or equal to 15, maybe I want to take action and notify people proactively that the data quality is poor. That would be neat. that would be an interesting connector. So as it is right now, disappointing, 2 stars. Hopefully there are enhancements in the future, which makes this a far more attractive connector for you.